Trey Reeds' second autopsy came back and they are in trouble. Delta State University is in trouble. I told y'all that they were gonna lie. I told y'all they were trying to cover that shit. Look at this shit. Blunt force trauma to the back of the head. Hear me out. Blunt force trauma to the back of the head. Awesome. Y'all had to wait till that man back would turn just to knock.
Local authorities, including the medical examiner, was quick, I mean super quick, to rule his...
To reporting from the Chicago Crusader, a second autopsy reportedly shows blunt force trauma to the back of Trey Reeds' head that was not reported in the first autopsy done by the county. Trey was found partially hanging from a belt that wasn't his. It was 3 sizes too big, with no marks or injuries on his neck consistent with hanging.
They thought it's gonna be another black man taken out just like that, and black people are gonna let that pass. Not this time. The power of community and people that care for their own people this time didn't let this slide. What am I talking about? A few days ago, I brought you a case or an episode about a black student that was strange-fruited at Delta University after a few days of threats that were literally thrown at HBCUs. And then we see Trey Reed coming out strange-fruited. And yes, they ruled it as self-inflicted. Until when one brave man, Colin Kaepernick, decided to pay for an independent autopsy. Ladies and gentlemen, the autopsy results are out, and the discoveries are what you expected them to be. Welcome back to the channel. I didn't want to make this video long, but I think I have a lot of things to say in here, especially to the black community. First of all, thank you so very much to all of you that keep following, liking, sharing, and supporting me on here. My members, you guys are amazing. You do me amazing. We have to look at the results of the autopsy, what black people have to say about this. We'll come back and talk about this. Do me a favor, like the video, share it so that it spreads everywhere. And let me know what you think in the comment section. I'll come back with more commentary.
So there has been an update on Trey Reed, the black man who was found hanging from a tree at Delta State University in Cleveland, Mississippi. Keep in mind that an autopsy was done by the county and his death was ruled as suicide. There was a second private autopsy done, which was paid for by Colin Kaepernick, and these are the updates we have now. According to reporting from the Chicago Crusader, a second autopsy reportedly shows blunt force trauma to the back of Trey Reeds' head that was not reported in the first autopsy done by the county. Trey was found partially hanging from a belt that wasn't his. It was 3 sizes too big, with no marks or injuries on his neck consistent with hanging. Delta State University officials lied to his mother, initially telling her that he died in his dorm, and they also misrepresented what clothes he was wearing when he was found. The spot where Trey was discovered is well known for being one of the only areas on campus without cameras. Trey's phone was not returned to his family as evidence, yet its GPS showed it was moving. A suspicious text that read, "The buckle broke," was sent from his phone, raising questions about whether it was staged. And days before his death, Trey had reportedly gotten into an altercation with a group of white students after defending a black classmate who was attacked online for criticizing Charlie Kirk. Scream if any of this information is surprising. Exactly. You see how it's as quiet as a J-Lo concert in here? I said it before and I will continue to say it. Black men do not themselves from trees. Hope this helps. Peace and love. Talk to you later.
Trey Reeds' second autopsy came back and they are in trouble. Delta State University is in trouble. I told y'all that they were gonna lie. I told y'all they were trying to cover that. Look at this shit. Blunt force trauma to the back of the head. Hear me out. Blunt force trauma to the back of the head. Awesome. Y'all had to wait till that man back would turn just to knock him out, just to get him in the tree. And I told y'all, people from Mississippi don't unalive themselves by hanging themselves. What really pissed me off that it was black men in my inbox telling me that, oh, you act like black men don't hang themselves. They don't. They don't. Where you from? Another thing, for the people that telling me to shut up and stop posting the family, me and Trey Reed mama already talked. We talked like 2 weeks ago. She had already hit me up and was thanking me. I'm not even gonna show y'all the message, but I am gonna say this. She said that she's not scared. She's not running. They doing everything in this world to break that woman. At least y'all can do is support her. Because remember, Delta State University, they lied to this lady. In the first hour of them finding Trey Reed in a tree, they had already said he did it himself. It was a suicide. I told y'all that was a lie. And I keep getting this message right here. The chief of police is black. The coroners, they black. The DA is black. Why would they cover everything up? Shit, that's what we trying to find out. That's what we trying to find out. Why would they cover it up? Guess it's better than mine. Matter of fact, ask Delta State why they covering it up. Ask Delta State how much money they paid them to try to cover it up. The thing is that Delta State University didn't know that they were going to do a second autopsy. Because let's just be honest, how did you miss the blunt force trauma on the first autopsy? How did you miss that? Ain't no way y'all missed that. Money. Let me just say this as well. They know exactly who did that to Trey Reeds. They know exactly how many it was. They even know the names who did it. Guess what? They gonna hide that too. You really think them white folks and let their kids be all over the news, they gonna their whole family history up? That shit ain't finna happen. Them white folks finna pay how much money they can pay to save their kids' face. Like I told y'all, all this shit is about money, and saving their family face. Now, the way they did Trey Reeds was probably like a 2 or 3 minute process. It hit him back of the head, knocked him unconscious. It had to been like 3 or 4 people just to pull this shit off. Y'all gotta remember, that rope was already tied and ready to go. But once they knocked him out, only thing they had to do was put the rope around him and just and go. That's a 2 or 3 minute process with 3 or 4 dudes involved. It happened that fast. Now, all the students that's at Delta State University, y'all better listen up and listen up closely. Them kids that did that to Trey Reeds, they gonna get away scotch-free. One of y'all gonna be next. Because guess what? If they get away now, they gonna feel like they can keep getting away with the shit. Walk around in groups if you have to. Use air tags. If you walk by yourself, be on the phone with somebody that can protect you, that's close by to you. Like I said before, stop the partying down there. Right now, shit finna get hot for Delta State. Shit finna get hot for Delta State University right now. I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna pay attention and see what Delta State University got to say about all this shit that's going on and why they lied. And we're gonna get to the bottom of this shit.
What's up, family? Trey Reeds, a 21-year-old black student at Delta State University in Cleveland, Mississippi, was found from a tree on campus. Local authorities, including the medical examiner, was quick, super quick, to rule his death aside. But the family was not buying it. With the help of Colin Kaepernick and his organization, Know Your Rights Camp Autopsy Initiative. I broke the news earlier today with Krista Muhammad of the New Black Panther Party on my Willie D Live channel that the autopsy revealed Trey had a fractured skull in the back of his head. He had contusions. He had bruises on his back and buttocks, meaning that they stomped him, fam. They didn't just bust him in the back of the head, they stomped him. Now, you got a lot of uncivilized mutts out there who are mad at Colin Kaepernick, even more mad at him because they were mad at him when they first heard the news announced that he would pay for the autopsy. They were saying things like, because the investigation, the official investigation, had already ruled the death aside, that Colin Kaepernick should just leave it alone. The critics argued that Colin inserted himself into the case for publicity, suggesting that his involvement was an inflammatory move that cast undue suspicion on an official ruling. Now, why would we have undue suspicion on an official ruling? I mean, our elected officials and law enforcement and all these people, they're so honest. Why would anybody ever doubt them? Yeah, fam. Some of them accuse Colin Kaepernick of paying for the autopsy to stay relevant. It's Colin Kaepernick. He's in the history books. He's going to always be relevant, whether you like it or not, you uncivilized mutts. Yeah. See, what they're really mad about, fam, is that they couldn't just sweep that under the rug. Like, yeah, hang another black, just sweep it under the rug. What are you poking around for, man? Leave us alone, go back to the big city. Yeah. They also said that he was just trying to create controversy. Also, they said that he was fueling racial tensions. The critics argued that Colin Kaepernick's high-profile involvement And the history of racial violence in Mississippi would unnecessarily stoke racial tensions by suggesting a cover-up where authorities found no evidence of foul play. If Mississippi is indeed post-hanging state, a post-racial state, the history should be just that, history. It should be like, yo, that's the old Mississippi. We welcome you. You want to come and check this out? You want to make sure that we cross our T's and dot our I's? Come on in, black people. Come on in and see the truth. Come on in. Walk toward the truth. This is Mississippi. We have nothing to hide. That's the old Mississippi. That was our ancestors who was hanging your ancestors. That was our ancestors who did all that bad stuff in the 60s, and the 70s, and the 80s, and the 90s, and the 20s, and the 2000s. That was them, not us. Oh, this is a different Mississippi. That's what they should have said, right? That sounds like right to me. They also were worried that Colin Kaepernick getting this second autopsy done was going to somehow discredit the officials. Some commenters on social media accused Colin and others of seeking to delegitimize the official medical and law enforcement findings for their own agenda. Not seeking this information because of all of these inconsistent stories. First, he was found. This is law enforcement now. How are you going to believe law enforcement if they're telling different stories? Right, believe us anyway. No matter what story we tell you, just believe us. First, they say the boy was found dead in his dorm room. Then, come to find out, no, he's hanging out. He's outside hanging out. But he ain't hanging out chilling with the friends and stuff. He hanging from a tree. Because they them. And now, on every level, it's being covered up. Where he was found at, near the pickleball court. Cameras everywhere, fam. But they had none of these places that pulled camera. Law enforcement has yet to say, hey, family, come on over here. We got the footage. We got video, just like we always do when we out here trying to solve a crime. We find video, we get the video, we pull the video from homes, we pull the video from the schools, we pull the video from anywhere we got a camera. We just keep on pulling video until we locate our target. That's what we do. Come on in, we got a bunch of video to show y'all. Check it out. Nothing, fam, nothing. Okay.
So the results of the second autopsy on Trey Reed has came out, and it came out that all of you white people who were trying to sit here and make it seem like this young man was not strange-fruited, it came back that he had blunt force trauma to the back of his head. Now, why the hell would he hit himself in the back of the head, then put himself in a goddamn tree? You know why? Because that doesn't make any sense. Y'all waited until he turned his back before you cracked him in the skull, the back of his skull, and then you put him in that tree to make it seem like he did it himself. I said this before, and I will say it again. Black men do not strange fruit themselves on trees. Repeat after me. Black men do not strange fruit themselves on trees, especially in America. It don't happen. If you see a black man, if you hear about a black man being strange fruited, he ain't doing himself. That we ain't ever doing it ourselves. That means somebody put us there, bro. Y'all wait till he walked away. Y'all cracked him in the skull from behind like a coward. And then you put him on a... Wow.
Y'all remember the case of Trey Reed, young black 19-year-old hang tree in Mississippi, right? Y'all know that the administration from over there came forward and said there was no foul play that happened in this case. The autopsy came back, there was nothing to indicate that there was any foul play. A little black boy just went, climbed up a tree, and dropped. So Colin Kaepernick took his money and gave it to the family to have an independent autopsy, and they have found foul play. Broken skull, bruises on the back, as if they stumped this young man up before they put him on a tree. So we want answers, Mississippi, because we knew from the beginning, out of all the ways we could go to do the worst thing known to earth to a man, a black boy not going to no tree to do it. Mississippi, what's up? Go down in the comments and prove me wrong. Justice for Trey Reed.
That's the power of black voices, and that's the reason as to why they want to silence black people. It started on TikTok and then it crossed over to YouTube because we have another community that does not consume TikTok content. As a result, with the brothers and sisters that reported on this, because the family of Trey Reed came out with an outcry saying, no, we don't believe this. They are trying to bury this. Please do not let this slide. I am so emotional in a very beautiful way, in a way that I am so satisfied. You know, credit should be given where it is due. Yeah. To Mr. Colin Kaepernick. I don't know you. I didn't know you personally until the few TikTok videos that I've come across of you, you know, sponsoring an independent autopsy and also getting to know the things that you do for the community. I want to personally extend my appreciation on behalf of the continent of Africa, on behalf of the continent of the melanated people over here, that thank you so very much for your service. And on behalf of the Black American community, I'm not Black American, yeah? But even on their behalf, a lot of them are grateful. Thank you for your service. Thank you for what you are doing. Thank you for what you have done. This is not going to be taken lightly. This really means a lot, not just to the melanated community, but also to the family of Trey Reed. Thank you so much, sir. People like you are needed, and they are rare. And to find you and use your influence to find justice for your own people, we appreciate. Thank you for your service. This young man has been able to get at least to where we are right now, gain recognition. And at least it took one man that is prominent in the Black community to be like, oh, that's what they are saying, when they have just threatened our HBCUs and now we are seeing this happening. No, I am willing to sponsor an independent autopsy. I think that's the power of the community. Your ancestors were resilient. Your ancestors never gave up. Your ancestors chased issues until the last minute to see what is the final thing about this. That is why they shared and sacrificed their lives for the Black community in America right now. And the reason as to why I am saying this is to awaken the community spirit in the Black community, not to let things just slide just like that. I know that indeed a lot of these people think that you people don't have power. You guys have billionaires. You guys have millionaires. You guys are the richest class of Black people on the entire globe. Yeah? You guys can achieve more if one person recognizes that there is an injustice and we need to pursue this further. That's why I'm satisfied. These people knew that this is going to be like any other case. But too bad. This time, you played with the wrong one. And I think it always takes one incident to uncover and unravel the injustice in the system. The young man from the autopsy that you guys have seen is totally different from what the authorities had given us. And they wanted you guys to take this. Now, I think this is something to the Black community, that every time they be like, you know what? No foul play. As long as you do not believe it. Find ways. Use the Black voices to reach the right people so that they pay for an independent autopsy. Because like a lot of Black people have been saying, Black men don't do that to themselves. Black women do not do this to themselves. Absolutely not. There is definitely so many ways Black people can do harm to themselves, but not this way. This is a message to all the Black students and all of you guys. As long as you enter into an altercation with these people, please use your voices. Come on the internet. and talk and say, I got involved in something like this and this and this. I want to let you guys know that I don't have any intentions of self-harming myself. Let the people know, okay? Put the disclaimer there, just in case something happens. Black people, these are dark times. They are literally coming directly at you. So crazy that the rage they are supposed to be pushing and throwing at their own people who are doing these things to their own people, they are throwing the rage at black people. Now is the time for you black people to be vigilant. Do not walk alone. Inform your people anywhere you go. Because these times are dangerous times, and you are in the zone of dangerous people. You are in the belly of the beast, as I would like to call it. You live with these people. I am not trying to say that all black people are all pure, they don't do it. No, we are not perfect. But then either way, we don't need to be going out just like this. Yeah, we don't need to be going out like this. Activist groups, this is the time. If the black community had so many Colin Kaepernicks, yeah, this community would be respected so much, because your money is not just your money. Your money is the money for the community as well. One member in the community, when they see something is wrong in the community, they will be willing to sponsor and be like, you know what? I'm here. Let's do this. Let's do this, okay? The black community is going to gain respect. The young people that had issues with Trey Reeds, yes, they have already been identified. And let's see where this takes. I probably will not be able to bring a bigger video. I might make just a small video and post it as a short. But I thought this is a very, very good news to the people that were saying justice to Trey Reeds. Yes, and we are still saying justice to Trey Reeds and all the people that are losing their lives, especially black men that are getting strange-fruited. These need to be checked. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section, because I think I've already talked a lot. Don't forget to like and share. There's power in the community. Fight to enforce or to foster community. Yeah, watch out and protect each other. Otherwise, nobody's gonna do it. I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel. I love all of you. Stay safe and yeah, bye.